If you smell what the rock is cooking.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Hey, I'm back. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? It has been a while since I have been live, but I'm back. Happy to see everyone. I am Tech Coach Ralph. We are Engineered to Win. I missed you guys a lot because I didn't get to, go live, hang out with you guys, do a lot of work. I was in another state trying to adjust to the time zone, all of that good stuff. I'll talk about that a little bit more as we get into our first break, but I just wanted to welcome in everyone. Today is Sunday, September 29th, 2024, and I just want to say a big what's up and salute to my guy Yakar, the King Tech Pookie, to the one, the only Roxy, to my guy Ferris, who's been missing in action for a while, but he is here today.
Let's get it.
And he was first. I will admit he was first in the comments. And me, Mysify, what's good? Me, Mysify be putting out these amazing videos of him working on cars, changing out batteries, hooking up sound systems with him and his 12. Is it 12? How many subs you have in that trunk of that Escalade? He be doing some amazing stuff, I must say. He be doing some amazing stuff. Reminds me of back in the days when I was riding through the mean cities of Miami. I don't do that anymore. But really cool stuff. Do you know how to do the car alarms as well? Me myself, I'm just curious because I heard that is a lot more complicated than the sound systems because every car's wiring is different, but just curious. How is everyone doing? So happy to be with you today. So here's what we're going to do, right? We're going to get into a little bit of housekeeping real quick. All right. And I'm going to condense the show schedule. I will mention one show because I don't want my guy Mitch to at me, but shout out I haven't spoken to Mitch in a week. I think the last time I spoke to Mitch was Monday morning.
Hey.
So I'll be happy when he pops in here as well. But let's do this. Let's get some housekeeping out of the way. So first and foremost, I just want to say thank you to all of the newest subscribers as well as those who have been subscribed for a very long time, those who join me on the live streams, those who who watch in the clouds, those who watch the pre-recorded videos and they leave comments. I appreciate you all. You guys are the best.
I appreciate you. We the best.
Yes, you. And I just want to say a big salute to all my tech savages out there. I've been away for a while, but hey, the only thing that didn't keep coming was the live streams, but all the pre-recorded content, they kept coming, and we had some good stuff. I see the video from this past Friday about North Korea using LinkedIn accounts to hack people's crypto is getting some traction. So that's really, really good to see. But we don't no days off. Even if we're live or not, we are still working. So we'll get into that a little bit more. But so shout out to the tech barbarians. Shout out to the tech prodigy members. I'm about to get some new people to join, and we're putting in that work every single day. Shout out to the technical explorers who putting out content all the time, and shout out to those tech mercenaries. Those are the YouTube members.
Hey.
And of course, I can never ever forget. Shout out to the bag chasers.
Money.
And I have to always salute to the tech pookies out there. Doing some tech, like coding in their wife beaters and their shorts and their house slippers. But hey, they are still working. They are still working every single day.
They ain't believing us.
They didn't believe in you, but I do. I believe in you 100%. With that being said, do me a big favor. If you are new here, or maybe you're not new here, but you like what we do here, go ahead and like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you can know every time that we go live and drop new content, as well as go over to techcoachrav.dev. You can sign up for free. I make available the sprint reviews that the Tech Barbarians do, available for free over there. But then we also have some content that is exclusive tomorrow, either tomorrow or Tuesday. I'm going to be sharing a video about how to use Glassdoor how to use Glassdoor to do some more research on the companies and the salaries and stuff like that. So when you go into those interviews, you can be well prepared. And I even added a little bit of AI and ChatGPT on how to know what right questions to ask about to a company when you're interviewing with them, right? So that's going to be on the Patreon, techcoach.dev, where you can also sign up for one-on-one coaching with me. You can become a tech barbarian. We can run it up, but the spots are filling up very, very quickly. So if you don't get in, then I am so sorry for you, but I'm not, right? Because if you miss it, then you miss it, no second chances, no second chances, all right? So that being said, let me do this real quick. We're gonna have a condensed version of the live show schedule, right? Because we go live just about every single day, Monday mornings, around tomorrow. This week I'm gonna be starting at 8 a.m. Sundays, like today, we're doing DevOps. Tuesdays we do Q&A. Thursdays software explorations, where we're working on the Urban Dictionary of Economic Data. But I have to mention, I'll tell you about this trip, but on why, because I wanted to go live yesterday morning, but couldn't do it. I'll tell you all the details later on our first break. But we have the Men Lie, Women Lie, Numbers Manipulate show. And that is where we review the weekly economic data, where, we have a list of stuff that we review, see how the economy is doing, not just what they're telling us. And that show is co-hosted from the chat with my guy, Mitch and Yakar. So by contract, I'm obligated to mention the Saturday morning shows. I don't have to mention all the other shows, but I have to mention the Saturday morning show, and I have to mention that it is co-hosted with Mitch. Because Yakar doesn't care if I mention him, but I have to say it's co-hosted with Mitch. So, under contractual obligations, I have to mention that. So it's co-hosted by Mitch and Yakar from the chat, all right? So just had to get that out of the way. And then we have our pre-recorded content on throughout the week. Mondays, Candid Conversations. Wednesday, Software Explorations. Fridays, The Bug Bite. And then we have clips from the Q&A show as well. I'm working on clips from the other live streams as well. So you definitely want to join us for that. So that is the pre-recorded content, the live shows, condensed version, because I want to spend more time working today. All right. So shout out to that. All right. So what we're going to be doing for today, let me get that part off the screen. We're going to be doing for today, we are going to continue what we started off last week. Last week. I was trying to update to add more currencies, but the database thing that they were using, it was just like, I don't know. I've never heard of it before. It was a mess. So I'm going to try to see if I can figure out a way to update these currencies so we don't only have one currency. Because if you're using an application, right? If you have an application, if you're learning on an application, I like to push it to the limit. Let me start off the first timer as well, right? Let me just check the chat. Let's check the chat. So let me see what we got going. Let's say Ferris says it's not a wife beater, it's a code beater. Okay, I got you. Let me see what we got. Let me go up over here. And first is, where is Tech Tyrone? That's a good question. Where is Tech Tyrone? And don't forget Ray Ray. Right? Let me see. We had me, Mysify in the building. Let's see. It says, why is he still using that? What laugh? Are you making fun of my laugh? Your car, why are you making fun of my laugh? Why? I tell you, your car, come on. You know what, your car?
Do not come.
I haven't used that in over a week, your car. Come on, I had to. It says getting harassed by his neighbors. He was getting harassed. I remember that video. It says 3 subs, 32 mids, 16 tweeters, 5 amps, and no, I can't do alarms. Yeah, I heard alarms are super, super hard to do because every car is different. So I hear you. It says, and I walked 5.5 miles today. Well, I played basketball today, and I will tell you this, right? Do not use the type of falls that you do in jiu-jitsu on concrete. All right, don't do that. It is not a good idea.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
All right, and it says, did you see the Fed's article I sent you on Discord? I saw it, but I haven't read it yet. I've been crazy morning, but I will get to it a little bit later today. So I will check that out. All right, so let me start our timer for our first 20-minute block, and we will get into what we're gonna do. Right, so.
It's time to do.
All right, so we're going to start up the containers for the currency app that we did last time, and we have the network created and all that good stuff. And then we're gonna try to see if we can add an additional currency. And then if we're able to do that, then we're going to see if we can deploy this, if we can deploy it to AWS, see what we can do with it. And then we will see, all right, can we do it with Docker Compose? So let's go to, let's see, terminal. And I have a lot of terminals running over here. Let me close down a few. All right, let's go here. All right. And let me zoom into this. Okay. All right, so let's do Docker PSA. A lot of stuff. Docker PS. Let me see what's. So we only have one running. Let's do. Gotta get rid of some of this stuff. But let's start up. I think currency exchange starts up first, and then. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna do Docker start currency exchange. And Docker. Let's do Docker start currency conversion, Docker PS. All right, so we have all of those things running. Port 8100 for currency conversion and port 8000 for currency exchange. All right, so let's go over here, and we're gonna say localhost 8000. All right, so we have our local host running for for US dollars to Indian rubles, something like that, and it's saying 1,000 to 1, or this is ID 1,001 or 10,001, and the conversion multiple is 65. Let's see if what it currently is now, right? So currency conversion. USD to INR, and currently it's 83.72 to 1, right? So if you round to 84, so this right here, whenever it was created, it is no longer accurate. So what I would like to do is to update that. The question is, how do we update it? Because when we were trying to access database, it was a bit weird, right? So let's do some investigation. Let's go to in 28. Let's go here. Let's see here. And we want to go to projects, microservices, and so what I want to do, I want to update it, right? The problem with that is let's go to currency. So it's going to here. So inside of this database here, right? So this is the console we're looking at. But when we try to access it, it's telling us that, like, I'll show you. So when we go and it says to use this right here as the JDBC URL. So JDBC is a protocol to connect to databases. It's that. When we connect, this is what we get, right? Localhost refuse connection. So if we look at over here, So this is the Chrome Developer Tools, and it says an X frame refuse to display this because in a frame because it's set to X frame to deny. Right. So and this is the issue because like we need to be able to see this in order to be able to connect to this in-memory database. We tried to use another like dbeaver to be able to connect to it, but I wasn't able to get into the database, right? So that's a bit annoying. If we look at the code real quick, let me see. Let's see. Resources, application property. Let's look at the SQL. So they have European to INR, AUD to INR. But the question is, how are they connecting to that database? Let's see. So starting on port 8000, and this is just a regular Spring configuration file from what I can see. Spring JPA show SQL true, console enabled. I mean, we could do if we were to go to, because I just want to run the command. I mean, it's kind of dumb that we can't. It says X frame in a frame because the X frame option to deny. Where is that set? There is a way around it if we have to, but I would prefer not to have to do that. Let me see. You can't set X frame option on a frame. That is a response header by the domain in which you're requesting. Well, all right. So not to spend too much time on this, let's find a way around it. Let's go to frame set, frame. Let's see. Let's see. Chrome. If we go here, all right, so we need to, this application is like super old and that's why we're having this issue, but I do want to be able to add another, this is kind of dumb, this is a dumb issue to be having. All right. So, create. Let's do update, change data in a row. Now the question is, all right, so additional database drivers can be registered by adding the jar file location. So we're gonna do insert. So we're gonna do update, change that in row. Let's do a. All right. So that's a help. Let's do the query. All right, so this is where we can run the query. So if we do, looking at, don't try this at home. If we go and we look at over, we're gonna do two things. We're gonna go into this, and we're going to say, I'm going to insert all these, and we're going to say, should automatically create an ID, but whatever. So let's change IDs over here. Uh, 5 and 6. And let's say USD to, what are some currencies that we want to add? What are some currencies that we want to add? Let's go. Let's say USD to, how about China? USD to Chinese yuan. And what is the code for the what is the code? What's the 3-letter code for the Chinese yuan? So this is, so $1 US is 7, let's say 7, right? So let's go to, let me close this down. Let's go to 7 and Chinese yuan currency code. And that would be, what is the code for Chinese yuan? That would be CNY. All right, so let's do CNY. And let's do Europe to Chinese yuan as well. The euro, 7.83. Yeah. I don't know if I can put decimals in here, so we'll just go with 8. Don't have to be 100% accurate. And then let's say the Australian is 4, we'll go at 5. All right, and I'm gonna do another set of these. And we can do, let's do one more place. Let's go with Mexico. The Mexican peso to the US. So, or just throw that in. So let's say 14 for this one. What is the Mexican peso code? I don't know. But I can, so it's 14 and Mexican. It is MXN. So if we do 14 MXN euro is 21 point, so let's say 22. And let's go with USD. Oops. United States dollar is 19.86. So let's go with 20. And your car is asking about Bitcoin. That's a good question. Let's go with MXN. Let's update these numbers as well. 7, 8. I probably shouldn't be updating all these numbers without testing if it works. But let's see about the, let's say US dollar to Bitcoin. So $1 US. So I can't even put it in this particular thing because I didn't create it. But $1 US is 0.00000015 Bitcoin. So it's not even worth putting it in there. So, all right, cool. Let's go with that. All right, so now we are going to insert these values, right? And let's hope for the best, see what happens. It looks like it successfully went through, so shout out to that. So now if we go back to the API and we say to MXN, what? Look at that. Look at that. Make sure. Yep. Look at that. It's awesome. That is awesome. And if we do AUD, we have the AUD, and if we do to CNY, look at that. That is awesome. That is awesome. Let's go. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
All right. So now if we look at the currency, so before we even do that, all right, let's do an update for the, so let me close that. Let's do an update for to put the right values for the, Indian one, right? For the Indian rupees. So what is the update command? Let's say SQL update row, where ID equals, so update command, because I don't memorize these commands. So update the table, set column 1 equals value, column 2 value, and so forth, right? Let me see, is that what I want to do? So insert, set address. Okay, so I want to do update customers, set address. Okay, so I guess that is what I want to do. Let's go to, let's do let me see if I can do, let me duplicate this tab. How do we end up doing SQL today? Let's see. Let's go to select asterisk from, what's the name of the table? From exchange value. Let's do that. Let's see what we get. All right, there we go. So we have all of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And if we say, oh, we could put decimals in here. I didn't know. Well, I'm not gonna go back and update them, but we could have. Let's go and do, what is this edit? Oh, can I just do this right here? Well, looky here. I don't have to use all my SQL commands. So let's say USD to India is rupee 83.72. Let's take that and put in 83.72. Check. And let's do Europe. And 9342.
Lunch break. Lunch break.
It's break time. It is break time. So let me do one more, and then we'll go, and then we'll come back from break, and we'll finish this, and then so once we finish this, then we will try out the conversions to see if that works, and then we will put this on AWS, and then we'll see if we can start up the microservice thing. Let's go, or well, Docker Compose. I'll just do this one real quick. This is going to be AUD 5785. All right, so let's do that. And now if we go to here and we do here to INR, what? Let's do USD. What? That's what I'm talking about. All right, let's go to break. I think this was a great first segment. All right, let's see what's going on. Let me check the chat, and then we shall go to our first break time discussion, which I'm just going to pretty much recap my trip this week to HQ. So we got, let me see, let's start off from over here. And I don't know where Mitch is. I don't know where Mitch is. Your car. Keep trying to summon him. All right, keep trying to summon him. Maybe he's upset. Maybe he's upset that I wasn't live all week. You know, who knows? And on the Twitch side of the game, whenever I shoot for a double, I like to headbutt the ground and land in a guillotine just to show them who's boss. What? That doesn't sound like that doesn't sound like a legal strategy, but shout out to you on the Twitch side of the game. Headbutting and guillotines, all that good stuff, all right? And as your car says, please hit the like button. Hit the like button. And you know how your car likes to remind us how he absolutely loves China. You know, I think it's a love-hate relationship where most of the hate comes on your car side, right? I'm just saying he is not a fan. Says, how would you do Bitcoin? I guess I could add Bitcoin, but actually I don't know because this only goes to 2 decimal points. So maybe I can't. But it would have been nice if I could have. But you know, maybe we create another table for that. Let's go. We got Blake Fields in the building. What's going on, Blake? I don't know if I ever spoke to you, but shout out to you.
I appreciate you.
Hanging out with us, having some fun, and your car is celebrating the win that we just got. And I wish the whole UI was working for that database thing, because it would be pretty cool to see like how we're choosing and stuff like that. But old technology, we got to make do. We have to find a way. All right. Let me see. Ferris says India Rising. All right. It says the hackers were building botnets on MySQL and attacking millions of. My goodness, who was doing this? Who was doing this? And Carl says that I went to Watchtower HQ. What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, your car?
How dare you?
It says, I have an interview next week. Any advice? Your car, Ferris, you've been interviewing for you have 10 interviews a week. I would say that study the job description, find some good questions to ask them when they are, when they ask you, do you have any questions? Have some good questions that are pointed to the company and stuff like that, to the position, things of that nature. Let's see. He says maybe he's upset about Saturday. Possibly. Okay, cool. Well, I'm getting old. But welcome.
I appreciate you.
Not a DC fan, I guess. I did watch Batman on the plane. If that helps, I did watch Batman on the plane. If that helps.
Bruh.
Sorry. All right, so let's get to this first break real quick. I shouldn't be too long on it, but trip recap. So, I let me throw up a 5 minutes on here. I did. So I traveled this week to company HQ, met up with the team, so we were strategizing and stuff like that. It was a great time to hang out with the team in the office. We did events together and things of that nature. I really like to. I like when we get together. I don't like traveling though. So I like. I don't like flying. I don't like driving long distances. But once I get to the destination, it's pretty cool. We strategizing for the upcoming year, what we need to work on. Stuff that teams do. And if you are working for a company where you are building software, you have a massive amount of customer base, and we're talking about like, how do we reduce cost, how do we add new features, what is it that we're trying to accomplish. Those are the type of discussions that you have, especially after you've been working in the industry for a very long time. I think people who are new, they have it's a little bit tougher for them. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I know that a lot of times people talk about job stacking and stuff of that nature, which it's cool if you can do it. But one thing that I wonder, how involved are you in the decisions and the directions that the company is going in? And if you choose not to be that involved in it, then are you going to be like cycling in and cycling out of jobs all the time? And maybe some people like that type of stuff, right? Maybe they like to not be too involved in the decision. They say, "Hey, I'm just going to do this one part." But I know, like for me, when I'm working at a company, I'm trying to make the best decisions, the smartest decisions. So I'm actually involved in all of the planning and all of the decision making, because everyone has a perspective. Everyone sees it a certain way, and I'm just trying to say, hey, did you guys consider this? Did you guys consider that? Like when you think about someone like Mitch, when he gets to his the levels that he's gotten to with his data analysts and analytics and engineering and all that type of stuff, where the reason that they're paying him the big bucks is because it's not for like just because he's able to write an SQL query or and things of that nature. It's not like they're paying for his thinking, for his mindset. When you think about your car with the hundreds of businesses that your car runs, he is committed to those type of to the success of his companies, and whether he's like coaching people or whatever it is that he's doing, he's committed to that. Like I've had conversations with your car, like, wow, you really you care a lot about people that you barely even know, but you really want them to be successful, and he's like investing his time, his money, his energy into that. But when you have it from I'm gonna have like 5 jobs, how you're always gonna be like at the bottom layer and expendable in those positions. So it's just like it's your decision, like how involved do you want to be in the direction that a company is going in, what kind of fingerprint that you want to leave on it. And that's why me, like when I'm like, oh, you got to travel, I'm like, all right, cool, I'll travel, and I'll meet with the team, do figure, because and I pick my spots. Like when I'm having these conversations, I'm like, all right, this thing, it's not like I might not understand it 100%. I ask for additional context, or I'm like, okay, based on what I heard about this, did you guys consider A, B, and C, things of that nature? And that's like when you start getting into those higher levels, you're not gonna be like a senior engineer or a lead engineer, and you're gonna be job stacking. Say, okay, I have like 3 jobs as a lead engineer, and now let's say you want to say, okay, I'm gonna take one job as a lead engineer, right? Where let's say you're getting paid like $200,000 a year. Are you going to take another job as a like lower level engineer, getting paid like $50,000 a year, so you can make $250,000?
Get a move on. Back to work. Chop, chop. Let's go. Come on. Get a move on. Back to work. Back to work. Back to work.
So, I mean, and those are some of the things that I think about. Like, I'm like, well, I can make the same amount of money that someone who's getting paid like 3 jobs are doing, to be invested in the success of a particular company, whatever company I go to, all right? Or I can work really, really hard on 3 different jobs for a little bit to try to make a lot, and now I'm like exhausted. So that's my thoughts. Anyways, the way that the trip ended at the end, so I was flying back on Friday, and there was like it was crazy, in a very small airport. In a very small airport, so it's like barely any planes, and then there was like some potential or alleged damage to the tiny plane, and now the flight gets delayed by like 4 hours. They ended up hijacking another flight, another plane, which probably using the word hijacking, not the best word, but whatever, you know what I mean. So now we flew back. So I flew into Denver, but I missed the connecting flight, so I got put on another flight. So I ended up back home at like the flight landed down here in South Florida at 5:30 a.m. Right, but here's the kicker. To put the icing on the cake, right? When we land in South Florida, in Fort Lauderdale, the what do they call it? Like whatever that little walkway that you go through from the plane into the airport, at the gateway that we parked at, it's not working. So we spent another hour on the plane waiting to get off the plane. So ended up getting back home at like 7 a.m. So it was a mess. It was a mess. But that's why I do not like flying, because I have no control over all that other stuff. Like at least when I'm driving somewhere, I'm like, well, I'm in charge of that, right? And well, you know, so for the most part. So that's why I don't like traveling, because then I have to rely on a bunch of other people, and you know, people like Uber and all that type of stuff. And I'm like, I'd rather just be in my own lane, in my own car, in my own house, whatever, right? But that was that. So that was my trip recap. It was a great trip. Flying back home was a total mess. But we're here and we are live. All right, let me check the chat real quick, and then we will get back to work. So that's my hijacking. So but what I meant by hijacking, right? So what I meant by that, right? So because the first plane couldn't fly back, the pilots from the first flight, once the next flight came in, they went and they said, all right, we're taking this plane and we're going to fly the people who are stuck here to Denver. And now, like, I felt a little bad, but I was like, I do want to get home, so sorry, people. But the people who were supposed to be on that flight, they had to wait for, I don't know, another flight. I don't know what happened after that. So, but there was a bunch of people. It was a total mess. It was a total mess. But I'm home. I'm live, and we are here.
Hey.
Let me see. Says you forgot about interview A. What interview A? What are you talking about? Interview A. Interview A. He says you forgot about interview AI assistant that fast. Oh, the Google Grow thing. I guess you could use that. Yeah, I could use that. That was last week. And I wasn't impressed with it. You should have told Ferris to use that. Well, Icar, you just told Ferris to use that. So there he goes. He has the advice he was looking for, right? Grow.google. So search for grow.google.com and look for interview, and that will help you. See, but Icar, no free promos. No free promos, right? I do not have a Google contract, all right? I do not have a Google contract. Let's go with says call AI Ralph. He will give you better. That's excellent advice. Excellent advice as well. See, look at the card. This is not Tuesday night. This is not Tuesday night, right? This is not the Q&A show, right? Robert the Boss. Q&A triple OG squared. I agree. Once you hit certain tiers, it's about the time. Exactly. When we going fishing off the coast? I don't know anything about fishing, but I'm down. Let's go. Is this GTA? It might as well been. It says welcome. It was not Spirit. It was. You know what?
How dare you?
I like Spirit. All right. I like Spirit. When I just have a backpack and I need to get to point A to point B, I can get a round trip for less than $100. What? I have absolutely no problem flying Spirit anytime, any day, anytime. I will fly Spirit, and it's all good. It is all good. Like, you know, people can hate. Guess what? I don't need extra leg room. All right. I'm just saying. Says we are commandeering this flight. That's what they did. Like, as soon as that other plane landed, the pilots and the flight attendant, they just rushed right over to the other place. Says, hey, we're taking over this flight, and all the people get off, and the people who are supposed to use it, sorry, not sorry. I was like, all right, it is what it is. It is what it is. Fair says, where is the link to AI Ralph? All right, let me send you AI Ralph. Let me see. It's Delphi. Boom. And you can, here you go first. All you right here. Holla at AI Ralph. He will hook you up. It says I missed AI stream. We had so much fun on that AI stream. And it says Ralph hates when I say Q and A. What are you talking about? Come on, your car. I do not hate anything. If you want to say Q and A, then by all means say Q and A. Quality and assurance. I have no problem. All right, I have absolutely no problem with that.
I appreciate you.
All right, let's get over to our second segment. Let's jump into our second segment. We are caught up with the chat. Let's get to it.
Let's go!
All right, so stop the show. We got my guy in the building. Mitch is here. You know, I'm gonna throw up one of these for Mitch. It says Mitch is back. The gang is intact. What's good, Mitch? How are you doing? And by the way, Mitch, did you see that video I tagged you in for the Mankind versus Undertaker? That might have been the most epic match of all time. Most epic match of all time. All right, let's get to work. So we have all of this. Let's go to USD to Mexican. Cool. All right, so now we need to do the currency conversion. So let's go to localhost 8100. Let me see. So this one is from European, from euros to Indian rupees. And now you see the updated conversion. So I'm going to do this, right? So let's look at both. So we have the updated, right? Well, let me do Europe. See 93.42. And then now when we look at our currency conversion, we have our 93.42. So a quantity of 10 is 934.2. So if we update in the URL, I'm updating it to 20. And look at that. Boom. We have our updates, right? However, how about if we get the, make this a little smaller. Why is my ID not showing? Let me see. Let me shrink that a little bit. Cool. All right. So If we go to, so now let's try one of the new ones that we added, right? So let's go to Europe to MXN, and we'll do, let's go with 1. So we have our 22. If we go with 2, and we do 10, so 10 euros is 220, right? I'm a little bothered right now. Why am I bothered? Why do you think I'm bothered, right? So here's why I'm bothered, right? I want it to be accurate. You know the ADHD part. I want it to be accurate. So let's do this. Let's update this to make sure it's accurate. So USD to CNY. So let's go to, or while we're here, let's go to Chinese. So let's do here. I just have to get it accurate because if we're going to be doing it, we have to get it accurate. Let's go to, let's close some of these things down. So this one, wait, what? Something's off here. This one is wrong. AUD is not 25. AUD is 484. So that was wrong. Let's go to here. And let me get the Mexican pesos real quick. 1362. Let's get it accurate. I want it to be accurate, you know? Let me close that down. I close that down. Let's go to here. And let's take the European one. The euros. 2201. And the USD. $19.68. And let me get the CNY for the US. 701. That was pretty accurate. Oops. Didn't want to do that. Damn it. Can I undo? Okay. We didn't lose it. Let's do that. And let's go to the last one, the European one, the euros. And 782. So let's take that. All right, much better. So now at least we're accurate. We're up to date and accurate. But these numbers change every day, so it's probably not the best spot to store them in a database unless you have some type of API call getting this information daily. All right, so 2201. So now let's do USD. Let's do, so 100 US dollars is 1,968 Mexican pesos. If we change this to CNY, it's going to be, so 100 US dollars is 701 Chinese wons, all right? So that is good. All right, cool, I think we're good. All right, now everything is working, right? We have it all working locally. Let's see if we can get this on AWS. Let me see, let me go and log into AWS. Okay. Get my two-factor authentication on. right, we are logged in. Let's go back over here. And let's go to EC2. Instances. I have no idea. What? That doesn't look right. That does not look right. See something. Okay. It's weird that I don't have any running, but okay, because I'm in Oregon. That's how is that? I don't know why it defaults to US. I don't know why it defaults over here because I'm like, how do I not have any servers running? But it's because we're in the wrong spot. All right, so we are going to start up. Let's start up this one. Let's start up this server right here. But you see how, like, I hope you see how, like, the way that I choose to learn things is not just by going step by step by step of exactly what they give us. Because we could have just said, you know what, we're not going to do the SQL part because that's not part of the course. But I said, you know, no. I said, no, we're not like, let me see. Start, I guess. I was like, no, let's figure out how to actually make this usable. And so we added some more currencies and we added the we updated them to be accurate. So when we go over here, we can actually see something like that makes sense to us, right? Having something that's accurate. I think that is very, very important to successfully learning something. You know, if you're just going to follow along what they're giving you, you know, how many times I've seen people who, like, they're trying to learn DevOps or Git, and they just follow step by step by step, and then now you say, okay, how do you do this? And it's like deer in the headlights. It is like deer in a headlight. So I want to, even if I have to spend more time, because look, we could have been in Kubernetes this week, right? But I said no. Let's figure out how to get some SQL commands in there. You know, update this so that we deviate. We deviate. You know, and maybe that's a benefit of you know, thinking for yourself, you know, and not just doing what's given to you. Anyways, all right, so this is running. We are going to connect. Let's go to get some details. Let's go to here. So let's clear that and cd documents. And we're going to say SSH. Clear that up. So SSH is the command to connect to other servers by like via command line. And so let's say SSH, and then we're going to say -I. And then, let me see. What is the name of that? I always forget the name of the, there we go, TCR. And then we're going to say EC2 -user at, yes. Good to go, good to go. So now, is Docker running? Docker is. Docker command not found. Am I using the wrong server? I think I'm using the wrong server. Yep, using the wrong. Okay, let's exit the server. Oops. Because using the wrong server is not going to help us one bit. So let's go, because then we're going to have to do the whole install. I don't feel like doing a whole another install. Let's shut this one down. I think we were using the Roscoe Jenkins last time. Let's start up Roscoe Jenkins. Start. All right, so that's getting started. Okay, so now let's go back over here. And no, let me copy this as well. So we're going to do SSH. -I TCR EC2 user at yes and Docker PS. Docker's running perfect. So we're gonna go back and do the same thing, but this time we're gonna do it on EC2. Did I close that? Oh, come on. Why did I close that? Let's go to GitHub. So we're going to go to projects, microservices. Actually, we're going to go to hub.docker.com. And then we're going to search for N28 min. And we're going to go, I guess we'll go to this one to start off and then go here. And I don't know what this MMV thing stands for. But whatever, let's just go to, let's take this one. I guess we could try this one. Why not try this one, right? Currency exchange. Let's do, so we got to create a Docker network. Remember the Docker network, right? So let's do Docker. Do Docker network ls. So let's do Docker. Let me go here. So on the, so we have to do the same thing on the AWS because we don't have a Docker Compose file yet that we could just use. So we're gonna do Docker network create currency network. Do Docker Compose or Docker network ls. So now we have our currency network on AWS, and we're going to do, try to remember this, we're going to do, let's try that. I'm going to pull in this, I'm going to pull in the N28 currency exchange service, or no? Ah, there's no tag, all right. The tag is, all right, let's do it this way. Docker Compose with the tag. So if they do not have a latest tag, then you have to specify the tag. So I'm not sure why they did it that way, but it is what it is. And we'll do the same thing for the currency conversion service while we're at it, so that we have both of them on the network or on the server. So if we do Docker images, should have all the images that we have. We have the hello world Python, we have the currency conversion, and we have currency exchange. All right, so now let's start up the currency exchange. So Docker run, and we need --net is going to be currency network, and we're gonna do D for detached so that we can keep our command prompt. And we're going to do name is going to be AWS currency exchange, because we need that first. And we're going to do port 8100 to 8100, which we'll probably have to open up those ports in AWS, but that's fine. And we're going to do, I think that's everything. So if we do that and we paste this here, let's see what happens. I keep forgetting to add in because most repos will just have like the latest and then, you know, but whatever. So we got that going. So now let's go over to our browser and let's see if we can take this right here and drop it on port 8100. And it's not going to load because we do not have that port exposed. So as for our DevOps work, we're going to go into our security group, wherever that may be. So security groups, we're going to add, yeah, we have 5,000 to 5,100. We're going to add another rule for port 8100 from anywhere, so anybody can access it. Save the rule. And now, when we go over here, 8100, why didn't that show it? I should have allowed it. Let's see, port 8100. Should have took it. Why not? Okay, it did go through. It did go through. Let me see if I refresh. Yeah, all right, perfect. So now we need to go to the same path that we did over here. So if I do here, oh, that's my bad. My bad. This is what so it's not on port 8100. So, all right, let's go. We have a couple of things. We have to stop the, I might as well leave 8100 because we're going to need that for the, for the currency conversion. But let's say allow from anywhere and save. But we have to go back to the terminal so that
Lunch break! Lunch break!
all right, we'll come back from, we'll go to break, but let me just do this real quick. Docker compose, Docker stop, and Docker RM. And I just want to put it back up, but we want to do it on port 8000 for the currency. Oh, I started the wrong one. So that kind of would have worked. But oh god, all right, let's do this. So that one will leave. Docker, let me clear that out. Docker images. So we need to do the same thing, but for here. My bad. Let's go here. Let's get this one to work. Let me do 8,000 and 8,000 and :0. I think that's everything. All right. So now if we go back over here and we go to port 8000. All right. And now we go to copy this path. And we go here. Nice, nice. All right, now we can go to break. A good break spot. It is a great break spot for us. All right, let's see what the chat has to say, and then we will continue with this. So we got the currency exchange service running. We just need to start up the currency conversion on that network and pass in the parameter to be able to use the currency exchange service. All right. So let me check the chat real quick. And there is also a video that I wanted to start watching. We can probably watch it across a few different things. So let me get it first. So we're gonna go to, where's my history? History. Copy that just to get ready. All right, I will put it in the other. All right, cool. So let's check the chat real quick, and then we will go to our break. So let me see. It says send it again after. All right, I can put it in this chat. But it was good. I mean, actually, if you go to my community tab, it should be the latest one. It said that I was watching that match while I was doing some work. It was Mankind versus the steel cage match. Mankind, or Mick Foley, as your car likes to say, versus The Undertaker. That thing was crazy. That thing was crazy. And your car says, "Have a nice day." Says, "I told you, Mankind is the greatest of all time." I'm not disagreeing with you. Just not my favorite. He's just not my favorite. I mean, what the hell is a mandible claw, right? What the hell is a mandible claw? That finishing move is, I don't know. It's lame. It's lame. It's lame. But cool guy. Let's see. Where are we? Let's go to. So Mitch says storm wasn't bad in Florida. So it depends, right? It depends what part of Florida. So so on Thursday morning there was a little bit of rain early in the morning down here, and it was very windy throughout the day. However, on the west coast of Florida, I heard they got pretty drenched. There was some flooding going on, and then I heard, I'm not sure about Tallahassee. I heard Tallahassee was supposed to be a direct impact, but I'm hearing from Alexis that it might have not been that bad, but I don't know. I just don't know yet. Let's see. But for us down here, it wasn't bad at all. So yeah, like your car said, didn't hit my part directly. I don't know. It wasn't too bad in Florida from what I saw. Did you guys see that reporter / meteorologist saving the person in Atlanta, or not Atlanta, but in Georgia, from like her car was like the car, like windows were cracked open and the water's going up and up and up, and he, like, in the middle of the storm, he just went over there and got her out the car and brought her to rescue. I was like, that guy, he deserves some type of medal of honor or something. I don't know, whatever those things are called, because that was very, very impressive. Like, he needs to be recognized by the governor or somebody in Georgia, because that was impressive. Let's see. Let's go. Here, guys, it works on my server. Let me see. If this was a real job, the SIG smokers would already be on break with the bosses. That's a good point. It says, we are agile thinkers. That's a fact. If the data says pivot, we pivot. Tell me about it.
Let's get it.
Says, sometimes it's the data go with that makes sense. It says, that's hilarious. If they only watch you for your money, use the data to run. That's gonna throw a
Message.
good point. It's a good point. Says, I agree. When dealing with practical situations, it's like Stellantis. They should have ignored the data and made smaller cars. I have no idea what happened with Stellantis, so I can't even comment on that. Let's see. Sometimes the data leans towards what's more profitable, not understanding market conditions are changing. Interesting. Very interesting point. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna put a poll on Thursday's show, because it seems like your car is really wants to know Marvel or DC, right? So I'm gonna put a poll in next on Thursday for as we work on the Urban Dictionary of Economic Data to see if people prefer Marvel or DC. You know, I pick Marvel all day, any day. All right. I don't care about DC. I don't care about any type of DC. I don't care about DC Comics. I don't care about DC Daniel Cormier. I don't care about none of those. Anything with, I don't care about Washington DC. Anything that has DC in it, I guess I don't care, right? John Jones over Daniel Cormier all day, every day. I'm just gonna say it. Don't at me. John Jones all day, any day. Do you guys remember the kick from hell that Daniel Cormier faced from John Jones? Do you guys remember that? Bruh. I might even try to pull it up at the end of this show, right? Because that was crazy. Let's see. Whatever Batman is. I do like Batman, though. But I don't know. He has some great technology, though. But so does Tony Stark. I'm just saying. I have no idea what Calvin and Hobbes is, but it is what it is. Your car says DC. That's cool. Everyone is entitled to be wrong. I'm just kidding. It says, I See Penguin is out. I haven't watched because I'm not paying another thing. Oh, come on, Mitch. You don't want to pay like $40 for a movie ticket? Come on. It says, I saw like 20 minutes of Vince McMahon on Netflix. Oh, my goodness. What were they saying? Are they talking about like old Vince McMahon or the new allegations of Vince McMahon? Let's see. Ever since I started doing development with XDA back in the day, I never paid for any of that crap. It's a site or app somewhere with we do not advocate for that on this channel whatsoever. I do not control what they say in the chat. Everyone here pays for their media, right? Everyone here pays for their media, right? I'm just saying. Although it exists out there, we do not advocate for that here whatsoever, right? Let's see. See, there we go. I know I don't partake in that illegal activity. Exactly. Mitch and I are good, wholesome young men. All right. I'm just saying. Let's go. This is not legal advice. Exactly. This is not legal advice in any shape or form. Right? Do
not come.
Right? There you go. Is it back this week or was it this past week was the first episode? Let me know, because I was on Peacock last night. Like, is Chicago back yet? Is Chicago PD back? That's all I wanted to know, because I'm waiting for that. I love Chicago PD. I love it a lot. I watched old episodes on that. I don't know what site you're talking about. No idea what your car is talking about. Says you got to watch the podcast, them talking about that match. Okay. Oh yeah, I saw it on YouTube, but I haven't watched it yet. I do want to see it though. Let's see. The claw, trash. Nope. Nobody likes Atlanta. Let's see. I don't watch UFC too much. What? UFC? I don't watch too much UFC because I don't watch too much UFC because I don't want to pay for those pay-per-views. That's why I don't watch it. If I like, and they're too late. I always fall asleep for the main event. Right? I'm just saying. It's not in the movies. It's a series. All right. Let me see. You didn't see it. It's 6 episodes, Rock, Stone Cold, Hulk, etc. on it from 2021 before all the stuff happened. Okay. I'll check it out. Let's see. All right. Anything else? Says it started last week. All right, cool. I'll check it out. Anyways, that's not what I want to do. All right, so what I wanted to do was, let's see if we can do that. And that's not the video we're going to check out. I want to check out this video. We'll watch 5 minutes of this, and then we will get back to work. And then we'll probably just keep watching it like throughout different shows because it has me curious. Where do lost tech workers go? All right, so let's start watching this. Let's spend 5 minutes and then we'll do our last segment of today.
The tech sector shed more than 386,000 jobs in 2022 and the first half of 2023.
80% of Twitter either left or quit or was pushed out, laid off, whatever you want to call it, and yet the website still runs.
Even though 2/3 of tech workers are men, more than half of those laid off in 2022 and 2023 were women.
Approximately 50,000 H-1B holders lost their status due to unemployment.
Over the course of this year, Canada is going to be developing a specific stream for some of the world's most highly talented people that will be able to come to Canada to work for tech companies, whether they have a job offer or not.
Hi, Brittany.
Hi.
Thanks for meeting with me and Rosie. We have an important meeting today. We finished our evaluations of 2023 performance. This is where you have not met Cloudflare expectations for performance. We've decided to part ways with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop you right there.
This is a viral video posted by Brittany Peach, a former employee of Cloudflare, a San Francisco-based tech company. The video posted on January 2024 and got so much attention that it may have kicked off a new subgenre of viral video. Watch this person get laid off in real time. The tech industry is again seeing widespread layoffs after a rough 2023.
LinkedIn just laid off nearly 700 employees. Qualcomm is planning to cut more than 1,200 jobs.
Google, Amazon, and Snap are among the companies continuing to downsize.
And the start of 2024 seems no different as layoff announcements, especially in the tech industry, continue to make headlines.
Units affected, they also include hardware, engineering, ad sales. So far, last night, CEO Sundar Pichai told his workforce to expect more cuts.
An Amazon spokesperson did confirm those layoffs. The head of Prime and Prime Video and MGM saying in that memo that the company is making some of the cuts to prioritize investments for the long term.
Layoffs are also plaguing industries like healthcare, banking, and media. However, the tech industry is the one that's been dominating the headlines.
This layoff and everything that's happened in tech, I think is pretty eye-opening. You know, like you can have your dream job, you can have your, oh, it's my dream to work for Microsoft, or it's my dream to work for AWS. And you...
I hate when people use the term like dream job and stuff like that. There's no such thing as a dream job because a dream implies that you are in control and you can have anything and everything that you want. And that's just not the case. So whenever someone says dream job, I'm like, there's no such thing, right? There can be a job that you enjoy doing and that you're really good at, but me, I make myself so flexible, kind of like we're going to be talking about tomorrow in County Conversation, but I make myself so flexible and dynamic that whether I work for a particular company or not, like when I work for a company, I'm going to, like I was talking about earlier, share in the growth and vision of the company, of the employees and all that type of stuff. But I also make myself dynamic that like, I'm not depending on that company for like, I'm like, oh, if it doesn't work out here, then I'm going to be so heartbroken and stuff like that. I'm going to be down and out, sad, crying. I'm like, it is what it is. This is like, see me, I got to tell you guys, right? Everything is business. Everything is business. So, company wants to lay off. Cool. It is what it is. On to the next. We're going to look to add value. We're going to look to grow. How are we going to win? So when people start like fighting, like, oh, you know, I'm not Amazon's returning to office. I'm not returning to office. Well, are you able to command that on like, oh, because if you lose this job, right? Do you have something else lined up? Are you able to easily get something else, or are you going to be like crying and begging and talking about LinkedIn? Oh my God, I've been applying for all these jobs and I can't find anything. You know, you know, I don't like the term dream job whatsoever. I don't think there's anything as a dream job. It's there's a job that you can do it well, or and you enjoy it, but is it a dream? Well, does a dream become a nightmare when they tell you that your services are no longer needed? Right. So now your dream ended up being a nightmare, and I don't like dreaming. I don't like nightmares. I just like to win. I just like to win.
Get there and you realize, okay, it's just like any other job. It's a great place to be. There's a lot of great perks, but at the end of the day, they can get rid of you like that.
The layoffs to the start of 2024 signal a dramatic shift in the tech industry. We're going to continue to see layoffs happen as the future of work has changed, as the future of technology has changed, and as investors' appetite for risk and growth versus profitability has dramatically changed as well.
So why are big tech companies and other industries laying off tens of thousands of workers at a time when the U.S. economy looks strong on paper? The start of the COVID-19 pandemic was a dire economic event, at least at first. The tech industry, though, boomed. In 2020, tech's top 7 companies added $3.4 trillion in value. The Fed's emergency moves to bolster the pandemic-hit economy, like cutting interest rates to near zero, helped boost tech stocks. This move helped the tech industry to expand and went on a hiring spree as people were confined to home. Amazon added the most number of employees during this golden period, peaking at 1.6 million employees in 2021.
If you rewind before the layoffs, all the tech companies were really putting an emphasis on growth. And so capital was really cheap. So you could get loans, you could get money, access to capital was really affordable. And then you see as interest rates went up and you start to see that growth in headcount didn't translate to growth in profitability and access to capital became quite a bit tighter. You saw many companies start to hit the panic button. And so we saw these thousands and thousands of people get laid off all at once. And that was quite a shock.
80% of Twitter either left or quit or was pushed out, laid off, whatever you want to call it, and yet the website still runs. Do you think people are looking at Elon Musk and thinking, you know what? Do we really need all these people?
I do give Elon Musk credit for this, for kicking off and making this acceptable at Twitter, but a lot of the big companies decided to get lean and efficient. And this is where you kind of start to see the incredible leverage of what these tech platforms really have, which is they didn't need those people, right? They were hoarding the talent. It was an option bet and it was a cheap one for them.
Yeah, I ask every tech CEO, do you take inspiration for what Elon does? Yeah. And they'll say on the record, no, we don't. We would never want to do that. But in the group chats, they're all like, wow, that was an amazing move.
The artificial intelligence hype of 2023 is starting to have real-world...
Move on, back to work, chop, chop, let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work, back to work, back to work.
So, 2 questions that I have before we get back to work, right? Number 1, the first question is when these companies overhired, because that's what they did. They overhired and they had people... Did you guys remember the videos of people complaining about, getting laid off and people saying, oh, I would just come in and I wouldn't do anything for hours, right? And, if you guys ever saw the movie Office Space, it says, I come in about an hour late and then it takes me about 30 minutes to get to doing something. Then I work for about 30 minutes and I go to lunch and all that type of stuff, right? So people were posting videos about how easy their quote unquote tech job was, where they were pretty much, it was easy because they weren't doing anything, right? So now here's the question. The companies that overhired for in the last 4 years, in 2020, 2021, they overhired, right? And then they realized that they overhired, or maybe they knew, whatever. And in 2023-ish, 2024, they laid off all the people that they overhired, and they're still running successfully, right? Do you think it was a bad thing for them to overhire and then lay the people off? Or do you think that it's not a problem for them to overhire and then lay the people off? So that's my first question, right? So let me know. Overhire, it's fine that they overhired and then laid the people off, or it was wrong that they overhired. They should have never overhired and hired those people and gave them the opportunity. So that is the first question. The second question is, if you owned a company, right, would you try to be as efficient as possible and watch every dollar, especially if you're just getting started, right? But you watch every dollar that's coming in and going out to make sure that it is being spent in the right way and that no one is pretty much stealing from you? Would you be very hawkish on how your company spends money if you were the owner or CEO or whatever of your own company. So those are my questions, right? What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on that? All right, so let's go back to full screen. Let me get this off the screen. And we're going to get back to our last segment of work, but let me check the chat real quick. Let's see. Your car says she looks like she's right out of Silicon Valley. Your car says boo-hoo. Wow, your car has no sympathy. Where is your empathy, your car?
Congratulations, you played yourself.
She gonna cry in the car. Mitch says, I'm looking into cloud FinOps. My company, Mitch, we just spun up a FinOps team earlier this year. And my team plays a decent sized role in managing costs and working with the FinOps team. It says that girl still didn't get a job. Oh my goodness.
I'm in a bind, Nate.
Says that's crazy to think about. Your supply chain and finances are coming together. Kmart could have never thought of this day that the SKU and accountants would be on one sheet. Let's see. It says, yep, it's all a part of data, so it fits well. It's a new industry, as you probably know. Yep, it sure is. Like we just got a FinOps team spun up recently. It says, hold on, that means some companies will use that model and race to the bottom. How do you prevent it from creating a deflationary market? That's a good question. That means Walmart and Amazon win. They eventually just engulf every market. Amazon is already moving to cars. It says that's the issue. No one knows how all these companies are going more and more in cloud. That's some of the biggest costs. They don't know where to even start. Storage and computing is a super, it's very, very expensive. So always trying to find out how to, like, Mitch, if I told you, like, man, if we were to speak one-on-one and I told you, like, how my team saved, like, over $1 million year over year in storage costs, you'd be like, wow, that's some crazy technology. And it all came from a concept of we were not sure how this would work or not, but now my team, like, we saved a lot of money. Like, we're always looking at cost-saving measures. Let's see. So I wish I got into one of those companies where they overhired. I would have ran off on the plug. Very, very good point, Mitch. Very, very good point. I'll share my thoughts at the end of the show. After you get through our last segment, I'll share my thoughts. It says they weren't doing anything. That's why making on these videos, they living the life. Exactly. Your guy says, don't hate the player, hate the game.
Be the best.
Tell him again, your car. Tell him again. I think it was a bad thing they overhired. They should have never overhired, but some people they used to it. Some people they used it the right way. They took that money and ran. I have another idea. I'll share my thoughts on that at the end of the show. But I have a thoughts on that. All right. It says it's hard to watch every dollar though down to. I mean, of course it's hard. Like, but it's hard to watch every single dollar. But you know, trying to be better, especially if it's your own company. You know, it says I'm in. Oh, look at that look, you fancy, huh? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Mitch being all fancy. I'm in FinOps already, but data FinOps kind of the same thing, but not really. Same thing, but not really. It says with AI, you can do all of your heart's desires. It says the issue with that, they don't know how responsible data people, engineers, QA, how exactly. Oh, they don't know who's responsible. Yep. Yeah. We're always trying to figure it out, but at the end of the day, like, how can we cut down on costs? You know. And the data that I got this week from from what we've done, oh my God, like you'd be like, what? You guys were that much under budget? You guys were that much under budget? Saying it is what it is. You know, we do dope work, right? Anyways, let's do our last segment for today, and then we shall wrap it up with the conversation.
It's time to
All right, so let's so this is because inside of the container, so right now we're on AWS, right? I just had a crazy idea. We probably won't have time to do it today, but we could have updated our own. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that next. I think that's what we'll do. We're gonna do the Docker Compose. We're going to update the. We're gonna update the starting SQL command to have all of these updated information, so that using Docker, the Docker Compose, all of this will be there. When we push it to AWS, we'll see it over there too. So that's what we're gonna do next week. But for the time being, let's get started with this. Right. So we have this. We are going to need. We're gonna need when we start up the currency conversion, we're gonna need to pass in this environment variable. Remember we were struggling with that the other day? So let's go ahead and do it. And we had already started the prior, so let's go over here. Currency conversion network. So let me go and let's call that AWS currency conversion. 8100 currency conversion service. We need to add our environment variable. Let me see. Let's drop it in here. --env for environment, and then currency exchange. URI equals HTTP:// currency. I guess it's AWS currency exchange. I think that's what I named it. And then on port 8000. Let's try that. That could be that could be wrong, but let's try that. Okay, let me just make a Docker PS. We have something's not right. Something's not right. So let me see Docker. So Docker PS. Clear that out. Docker PS-A, and this is not running. So let's take a look at the logs real quick. Docker logs, and what the heck happened over here? Oh, all right. So we probably had some type of typo in there. So let's do Docker rm Docker. So let's go back to the command that we did earlier to see what's going on. That's weird. Why would it try it twice? Currency exchange URI. That's weird. It tried to throw in an additional 8,000 on there. I didn't pass this in. Maybe I take out the 8,000? That is weird. Maybe I'm using a different because I'm using a different image. So let's see, Docker PS. Okay, so now they're both up and running. That was weird. All right, so now let's go over to here. And if we go, so this is the 8100. If we go to let me copy this, and now let me duplicate that, and this is going to be 8100. And enter error. Oh, because we don't have the CN. All right, we don't have the CNY here yet. So Indian Ruby. No, still error. Why are we getting an error here? So let's go back over here. Docker PS. It's still up and running. Docker logs, and we'll use this one. What error are we getting? Connection refuse. Oh, because why are we using localhost? No, we shouldn't be using localhost. Docker stop. Docker. So if we go back and see, so currency, AWS Currency Exchange, ENV, Currency Exchange URI. Why would that not work? We have our currency exchange URI. Currency exchange URI. If I put the 8,000 on that, because it could definitely be because I use it wrong, or not a wrong, but a different repo. See, Docker PS-A. So when I use this one, it's trying to, it's using the right one over here, but it's trying to use a double 8,000, right? So if I just use this, then it tries to use localhost, which it wouldn't use local. Well, maybe on Docker. Well, no, because it's on the same. Let's see. AWS remove. AWS currency conversion. So if we go back, so currency exchange URI is trying to use that, but the application is trying to connect on localhost 8,000. AWS currency conversion, Docker run, net, the network, the It's on the right network. It is AW. So currency exchange URI should just be that -p 8100. That should work. So if we do Docker logs AWS currency conversion. All right, so that started. But when we go over here, refresh that. That's not working. So if we go back over here, Docker logs again. Connection refused on localhost 8000. Why is it using? I mean, I guess it would be. Let's do this, right? Let's do this. Let's go to Docker PS and let's take this currency conversion right here. Docker logs. So if we do, I'm just gonna do it over here. So what I'm doing is I'm trying it out locally on my machine to see where the disconnect is happening. AWS saying it can't. No, it should, because localhost. I guess we could. It's trying to use the URI, but it's saying the GET request from here. Connecting with connection refused. Let's see if we can. Let's go to. We're going to do two things. We're going to go here. We're going to say Docker inspect. And currency conversion. Currency network. Image. Currency exchange URI. AWS currency exchange. They must have this 8000 hard coded in there, because I'm not able to see it on my end. So what if we did this, right? So let's say we do, I'm gonna do something. All right, watch this. Watch this. because this is how we're gonna see if it's their repo or like their image that's the problem, or if it's something that I did on AWS is the problem, right? So let's go to the older one, do Docker pull. I'm gonna paste it over here. Oh my God, I always keep doing this. And now I'm going to do the same exact thing, but I'm going to put it on. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to go to 8,000. And I'm going to say none. Let's go with 2. All right, so I think we have everything over here. Let's do that. What? Ah, okay. I see what I did wrong. Let's do. What was that error that I got? It says, all right, port's already. Let's put it on port 8200. So I'm going to say externally, I want to be able to access port 8200. Internally, it's going to be mapped to port 8100. What? Okay, so whatever. Let's go with Docker stop and Docker RM. Let's go and start that on port 8200. All right, cool. Docker PS. Docker PS. So it looks like this repo has the issue, right? Because it actually took that port 8000 on the other one, right? Yep. So now let's go. We're going to try it out. We need to turn on port 8200 over here. Save that. Save that. And if we go to port 8200, what do we get? Let me see. Still failing. Let me see. Still failing. All right. Let's look at our logs. If we scroll up, 400 no. That's a different error. Let's keep going. No, bad request. That's definitely a different error that we saw last time. What the heck is a 400 no?
Lunch Lunch break. Lunch break.
So let's see if we can get anything in here before we wrap it up. But that's a different error, totally different error. Let me see if I just do. Let's say we do Docker logs tail.
Simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
Let's see, how do we do? Tail follow. So we need to follow. All right. So now so follow is going to like allow you to see them happening in real time. I'm going to say that. So I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna put a lot of spaces in here. And we're going to, I want to see what the error is that we're getting. Because there's a different error from not being able to connect now. And it just could be like the currency conversion controller convert from 10 USD to INR. I mean, it could just be the MMV currency conversion repo isn't working. That's probably what it is, because the first one wasn't able to, like the currency conversion wasn't working. So that might be it. So what we'll do next week is we'll just try the regular currency conversion repo or currency exchange repo and see if that works. And then if that does work, then we move into Docker Compose. And what I want to do is, before we do the Docker Compose, I want to build in the database file to update it to the latest values, so that we don't have to like see old data, right? But that's the plan. But we'll pick this up next week. I think we're in a good stopping spot for this point. Let me just stop that, and we do Docker PS, and we have everything running. We just need to map it into here the right way, and maybe this is the issue, the same way that this was the issue. Maybe this is the issue, and we shouldn't have used this, whatever that stands for. But yeah, you see, look at the CBN process web versus Java, yada yada yada, the commands that are being done. So maybe that's what it is, right? Well, whatever, we'll figure it out. That's why we're here. That is why we're here. We have plenty of time to make things work. So let's go to full screen. Check the chat, and then let me see. Maybe watch 5 more minutes of that video, or I just share my thoughts. We'll see. I'll probably just share my thoughts because time is up anyway, so got things to do. Says, me just keep trying to tell y'all I'm not with the foolishness. Let me see. Under budget, where does the money go? So it depends on the company, but sometimes they say, all right, now that we have all this, now that we're under budget, how can we invest into other business units or departments so that they can maybe build more features, hire more people, expand, and maybe do some acquisitions? Who knows? Like there's so many different ways that the money can go. Like we save it, and then we save it, they spend it. So but still, let's see. Under the mattress of the CEO. It says, I think it's a good field. Let's see. It's necessary to stay informed. It says, are you agreeing or not? That's a great question. And here it says, I am agreeing. No smoke, no smoke. All right. It says, more companies eventually are going to be looking for more. Remember, Mitch said it. And whatever Mitch says normally comes to fruition. It's just like AI. You cannot you cannot implement it and get left behind, or you can implement it and keep up with the big dogs. Keep up with the big dogs. Let's see. The only thing I don't like with AI, like you said, tracking costs, I don't want people to lose their jobs. Well, whatever, you know what, Mitch, honestly, and with all due respect,
you should know your...
Not that one. This is the one. Where's the one I'm looking for? I lost. Oh, this one.
It doesn't matter what you think.
It really doesn't matter what you want. It doesn't matter what you want. Whether you're like, oh, I don't want people to lose their jobs and stuff like that. It's gonna happen. And you either have to keep up with the times. People, the people who used to drive the horses, as a form of taxi, they lost their jobs. Taxi drivers eventually lost their jobs because Uber came around. And if a taxi driver says, I will never, ever, ever become an Uber driver, well, you're gonna get left behind. So maybe you just take that taxi to the paint shop and take off the medallion thingy on top and just drop in an Uber logo and say, and here's the thing with Uber and Lyft and things like that, right? You can drive for both. You can drive for Lyft and you can drive for Uber, I suppose. And but the taxi, it is what it is. So I don't know. Whatever you want, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what you want, Like we spending too much in the software. Okay, we gotta let 500 people go. If the software can do the job of the 500 people, I don't know. It says, due to labor being the highest cost of any business, we can't avoid that grim fact. That's exactly what I was saying, Exactly what I was saying. It is what it is. Labor is the most expensive thing. Says, I know people and software is the biggest expenses. I don't know. Let's see. I like to remember how many people had jobs when manual testing was king versus automated testing. Automated killed so many jobs, but tech got better and faster. But your car, guess what? People are still crying, oh my God, I want a manual job. Manual is so important. And you know what? Manual still exists, but however, the people who do automated, they package that. They package a little bit of manual testing into their work, but automation is king. And I tell you, people they pay like $8,000 for a boot camp saying, "Oh, I'm going to become a manual tester," and then they go apply for 4,259 jobs. I should create a tracker for QA jobs being applied for the same way that we have the debt clock. But then they go apply, and then now they can't find one job, and I'm like, well, you should learn automation, but no, manual testing. So yeah, I was on this job interview, and this guy who would have been my boss was preaching to me how much he loves manual testing, and I was like, what? It is what it is. It says, can we admit that Apple Vision Pro is a waste of money? What? Well, Mitch is going to tell you that every Apple product is a waste of money. So I'm just saying. And Mitch says, Apple, thanks for reminding me. I'm telling you. No love. It says, I use Square Pods. Okay, interesting. It says, my laptop allows me to upgrade the RAM and the DDR. Okay, look at your car flexing. HP 360 Envy. I'm not a fan of HP. It says, back on the other topic for a second. The reason why it's bad too is because most teams at a company all use different types of tracking methods. That's not good. You need to have some type of standard, Lenovo Flex 5. I'm not a fan of. I've had bad experience with Lenovo Flex. It says it goes everywhere with me. Okay, I got you. Besties. Did we just become best friends? That's what Mitch said to his laptop. It says I know. Says that's how I know price will be the key data to lean on when comparing the market price. Which triggers. Your car, you know how much I fear the word trigger. You know how much I fear about that. Which triggers a race to the bottom. China did this with the fast fashion model. Check it out. My Lenovo can be stolen by anyone. I wouldn't care. Oh my goodness. And that's because Lenovo's are trash. That is not nice. Take it back. Take it back, Mitch. Says, what exactly am I looking at? Fast fashion model. Never heard of it. Okay. I'm trying to have peace as much as possible. What did I do? Why am I sick? What did I do? It says, I saw people with the Lyft and Uber sticker in their car. That's what I think. I think you can drive both. Right? Double it up. It says, so I read, Noir Pie says, so I read Docker equals D. Am I too late? I'm not really sure what your question is. Do you mean the Docker -D? If you do mean Docker -D, that stands for detach mode. What detach mode allows you to do is to keep your command prompt without, Docker taking over your whole command prompt. If that's what you're referring to. I'm not 100% sure. If you want to clarify, I'll be more than happy to answer. But shout out to you on the Twitch side of the game. It says, why would you pay $8,000 for a boot camp and then just want to be a manual tester? That is a great question. Good. I don't know. And Mitch is unhappy with me. He is burdened, but Mitch, you should unburden yourself, right? But he says, you then, Ralph. Okay, well, I'm gonna. And it says the tres amigos are back. Let's get it. It's been a long time. It says your title said Docker networking, and I'm asking if I'm too late for that. We are about to wrap it up. So I'll tell you this, right? We started with Docker networking, which we did do Docker networking like last week and this week, but we went into trying to connect the two Docker containers, and also we went on a little tangent updating the SQL so we can have more currency conversions. Basically, part of the course that we're going through is they had a microservice. We're doing microservices where they used Docker networking to connect the two microservices. And then part of that was updating the table for the currency conversion. So that's what we did. But we do DevOps and all this type of stuff every Sunday starting around 2:30. So feel free to join us. You can also watch it on playback, or you can join us on YouTube at Tech Coach Ralph on YouTube, where you can see everything that we did, right? All right, cool. So let me give my thoughts on I guess I should give my thoughts. Let me do this. Let's go with. So let's do this. So the whole hiring thing, right? And so here's the deal. I think that if I was a company, right, I would not overhire for the sake of the company, because if I'm the owner, I don't want to spend extra money that is not going to result in a profitable in the bottom line. I mean, me with the work that I do with the coaching and the YouTube and stuff like that, I watch my AWS budget like a hawk. I watch all the stuff that I'm spending, right? And whatever. But here's the flip side. If I am the employee, or I'm looking to get hired, and I just finished a boot camp or whatever, and these companies, Amazon, Meta, Google, whoever, if they are hiring a bunch of people that they don't need, well, I'm delighted at that opportunity, right? I would rather be overhired and then potentially laid off, or maybe fight to be one of the people who don't get laid off, be the best at the company. But I would rather have the opportunity. So number one, I can get it on my resume that I worked at whatever company, whether it's a major company or maybe it's not so major company, right? But I'd rather get that experience, because so many people who are coming out of college, coming out of these boot camps, they have no experience. And right now, the most challenging thing to get hired is not having experience. So I would rather get overhired and then actually do some work in the field. And I'll tell you this, I would never, ever put myself in the position that I'm just sitting around not doing anything. I'm like, well, let me go investigate these softwares. Let me go talk to people who are way smarter than me. Let me talk to developers. Let me talk to senior whoever's. Let me talk to leads on whoever. Hey, what are you working on? Hey, how does the technology work? I'm going to get as much knowledge as possible. I'm going to learn as much as possible while I have the opportunity. And now, let's say something happens, 3 years down the road, that, okay, we miscalculated, we overhired, hiring all these people didn't actually work out like to our benefit, as they said, because at the end of the day, it is their company. They can do whatever the hell they want with their company. If they want to lay off people, then it is what it is. If they want to overhire and spend money that they don't have, it is what it is, right? But for me, working, if I have the opportunity with somebody without any experience, right, and I can build experience off of that, then sign me up, Scotty. Beam me up, Scotty. Whatever the saying is. I don't watch Star Wars, but I'm with it. And I'm going to use that as an opportunity to build up my resume, to put stuff on my resume so I can be I'm not going to just be sitting around saying, oh, I just come in and I eat food and I get free Starbucks and whatever, right? No. I want to learn as much as possible, and I'm going to take those 3 years so that now when it's on my resume, I accomplished this, I learned this, and that. I'm going to use that to my greatest advantage. That is my thought. And that's why for me, from an employee perspective, if I have the opportunity to get hired by Amazon, right, and work for there for like 2 years, 3 years, and then I get laid off, that's totally okay with me. Any company, right? Because I want the experience. And especially when you have like Tesla, Twitter or X or Meta, Google, that's name recognition. So now another company that you're going to be applying for, like, oh wow, this person worked at one of these major companies, at one of these fan companies. That's pretty interesting. And I want to talk to them, see what's going on, right? So that's like me. If I was company leadership, I wouldn't want to do it. But if I'm on the employee side of things and I'm looking for experience, overhire me, lay me off in a couple of years, I'm with it. I'm not going to be boo-hooing, stealing words. I'm not going to be crying about it, right? I'm not going to be crying about it. Sign me up. Give me the opportunity. Put me in, coach. That's my thoughts on it. Nothing is owed to you. Nothing, like, nobody owes you anything. So if they're going to overhire and they're going to, you get that opportunity to work, then you better take it. All right. Let's wrap it up for today. All right. Let me check the chat real quick as we wrap it up. It says the people on Twitch never. That is true. They do not have normal usernames on Twitch. One thing Apple did right, they didn't overhire. I mean, as a company, that's 100% right. Totally agree. As someone looking for an opportunity, please overhire me. Please give me the opportunity. Please. Why didn't you overhire, Apple? I just want the opportunity to get my foot in the door. So that's how I see it. Mitch says, that's what I said. I would take the money. So Mitch, are you taking it from the perspective of the man? What happened to For the People, Mitch? What happened to For the People, Mitch?
Bruh.
Did someone say Deloitte? I didn't. Did someone else say it? Nope, I didn't. So Deloitte not good. Free snacks at the office. I'm just saying. Man, I'm lucky I don't work in the office because I'd be eating way too much. I'm just saying. It says that's what most people do. Anyways, 1 to 3 years, then go looking to somewhere else. Well, I mean, if you're working for Amazon, one of those major companies, are you going to really be looking to go somewhere else, or are you going to try to level up and grow in that company? That's a good question. Because they are great to work for. They just cut some of their staff to save cost. I actually been at my company for 7 years. What? But you also moved up the ranks, and that's why you're sporting that That's why you're sporting that that nice fancy red Lambo, you know, which your car wants to borrow. Which you told me that I'm not. If you let your car borrow the Lambo and you said I could not borrow it, then you know what? It's over. We are no longer friends. We are no longer friends if that happens. All right?
Do not come.
Just saying. It says you're not going to swing at the air. Sean Wayans did. Don't be a menace. Oh my God, that is not nice. Not nice. Anyways, I am so happy to be back. So happy to be back. We are going to wrap it up for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciated you all.
I appreciate you.
But you guys know what time it is. Like we always do. You know, my question to you.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
I had a great time, very entertained, hanging out with my people. Yes, I said it, Mitch. With my people. You guys are my people. Everyone else, nope. I don't know you. I don't know. If you're not hanging out with me in Patreon or on the live stream as a subscriber, I don't know you. Like I said, you don't know me. I don't know you. All right. But you guys know. All right, let me see what Mitch is talking about real quick. He says you're not even a has-been. You're a never was. What? That's harsh. That is harsh, right? But you guys know yesterday's price is not today's price, and today's price is certainly not tomorrow's price because
one more thing. Price of the brick going up.
The price of the brick is always going up, as we can see with the price of the grocery stores. It is what it is. Mitch says, I think Ralph was happy today. I'm always happy. What are you talking about? I always mess that up. I'm always happy. Mitch, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Let's see, I'm always laughing. I am always laughing. But with that being said, this is Tech Coach Ralph with another Sunday afternoon. We are out.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts. Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again. Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.